Yeah, whoa, she's going. Whoa, oh, just bursting the doors. Where we go, mate? Okay, bit of mucking around, but I've got my power connection running through, going into a junction that I can disconnect. That's going to run through I'm going to try a 15 amp fuse. I've got 15 amp hour batteries at the moment. Might have to go up to a 20 because it's a bit of load once you turn it on. And I've soldered on the ends and put some heat shrink on them. They'll go on these two middle ones here. And hopefully we won't have any short outs, but they're proper connectors, and hopefully everything's all right. So I've just got these couple of little ones here to do, and I'll do them in a minute. Okay, I'll show you a quick little trick. These ones here aren't going to have much movement in them, so I'm just using a crimper in there, crimping tool, so that'll hold the wire. I've got these ones here, it's got a little hole at the end, and I will put a little bit of solder in there just to cap it off. But as you can see, they're crimped pretty hard. And the trick I use is I've got a good pair of these. I push it down as hard as I can, and then I just simply wind it until it's firm. Undo it, and there you go. Really well crimped, a lot harder than you can do it with your hands. Got a nice ring on the top of it, and I've still got a point where I can just put a little bit of solder in the end. So these ones here, I actually heated the whole piece up and filled them with solder, and then sunk the wire into them. So the two power ones are 100% not going to come apart. These ones here, as I said, don't have much movement between the little tiny links, so that's just a quick little way to put them on so they never come apart. Put the heat shrink over them, and then they're insulated. So as I said, with these ones here, the main power ones coming out, I have heated up the whole little connection and completely filled it with solder, and then pushed the wire into it, and that won't come apart, and I'll have a good connection. These ones here I'm not so concerned about. They're not going to have any length or strain or much of a flexibility about them to worry about them breaking off. I use these crimpers here for the non-insulated. It's got the big pin that goes through it, and as I said, I just finish it off with the vise. I don't go super stupid with it, or else you're probably just going to break the bloody thing. But as you can see there, it punches a nice little hole in the back. Tomorrow I'll just finish off with just a little bit of solder in the end of there, and they'll be 100% right. Push over the heat shrink, and then I can start putting all these back together. Beautiful. Okay, so I've got these little little bits to go in between each one of the to make the circuit up to 48 volts. I've put the heat shrink on there, sealed up the ends. I'm going to put that little bit of binding over the top of it just to help protect the wire. So basically you'll end up with that. The cap will fit in there nice and tight now and won't sort of pull loose. And what you end up with is that. So that's going to bolt in nice and offer a little bit of protection from anything sort of banging on the wires. I've already finished the big power one, so I've got all the wires all hanging together. I don't like stuff just flopping around everywhere. I've got the proper connection in the middle there. I've left the fuse exposed so I can get at that, and those ones go on for the to bring out the final 48 volts. So yeah, just take your time, put them together properly, use the clamps, use some heat shield over them, use this bendy bindy stuff I've sort of come across. You can find it on most websites, and then you can get something that's pretty well protected. I mean, it's not idiot proof, but yeah, it'll all go together, and I'll feel a lot more secure that the kids aren't going to stick a screwdriver in somewhere and have a major short out. So I'll give you a bit of a look once I get it all wired up, and get this little guy on there and check the voltage out coming out the other end here on the plug. Cool. Okay, just going over this morning. I just want to make sure everything's all right. So I've got it hooked up the right way round. There's the old battery box when I was testing it. So I've got it hooked up the same way around. Everything's good in that respect. I'm showing 48 volts and the batteries haven't been charged yet. I've put a 10 amp fuse in there. I'll keep it right down low and check it all out. I've put all the connections on. So everything's all nice and neat all in there, and pretty safe from little fingers. Of course I'm going to have to, it's too bloody heavy to pick up in one piece, so I'm going to have to undo some of the terminals and when I put it in the bike. But the next thing is I'm going to try the charger out. So let's hope everything keeps going in a good direction. Okay, so I've checked the polarities around the right way to suit what I've got. I'm just going so cautious on this. I've got a proper charger for it. I've got it sitting there. The battery's actually holding 51 volt, and I'm just going to turn it on. So here we go. Okay, so we're showing a charge fluctuation, and turn this light off so you can see the. So we're going okay. What have we got? Oh, I don't think it needs to charge. I think it's pretty right. But it's not overcharging, that's for sure. So everything's pretty cool there. And we're showing 48 volts, nothing zooming up to 200 volts or some bullshit. So it's actually saying it's 100% charged, which it was showing 51 volts, so that's probably why it's not kicking over. But that's good, no big bangs. Okay, so that all checked out okay. The chargers works well. I know the batteries are full, so when I plugged the charger in, it came up full bars. Wasn't overcharging it. All my wiring is around the right way to fit back in the quad bike. I've just taken all these back off. That's too damn heavy just to pick up and put in the bike. So I've still got to slightly change the battery carrier just a little bit. It's going to be a lot easier for me if I've just got the battery single. I've put a bit of bloody plastic tubing just around these so I don't accidentally short something out. And that's pretty well it. So I'll do another video when I've actually got it fitted up and it's running. So that'll be fun.